It's another daily update here on United and Everything Football. This is United today. Thank you for joining us, and we are still buzzing from that incredible victory against Manchester City at Wembley. I'm sure you are still in the euphoria, still celebrating everything that has got to do with our triumph over Manchester City, the best club in the world currently. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You see a lot of pictures, a lot of videos online, and it's refreshing. I mean, after the season that we've had, clearly you'll be looking at some of these things and you just smile. So we have a lot of updates for you, and just so you know, until INEOS clarifies Erik Ten Hag's future, it will continue to dominate the news. It will continue. And until then, we will be here to give you every detail of what happens. So Erik Ten Hag's future is in the news. Now, the tenets of the review that is being conducted has come out. And we'll be sharing with you some of these tenets or some of the specific aspects where the review will focus. We'll see whether Erik Ten Hag will come out with flying colors or Erik Ten Hag will be shown the exit. With regards to that, also some fans have also expressed their opinion concerning this whole issue about Erik Ten Hag. We'll bring you the updates on that. And will Manchester United be playing the Europa League next season? I ask this question because there is a very interesting twist with regards to that, and I will provide you updates on that. So please stick and stay with us. And there's been a lot of Instagram messages from some players at Manchester United, some bidding farewell, some also giving explanations to these events that has happened over the period. All of it here on United today. Please stick and stay with us. Remember to like the videos, please share, and also leave a comment with us. Also remember to subscribe to this channel. It's very important to us. The community is expanding. We need more of you to join this community so we can share a lot more here on United today. Let me make a quick turnaround. I'm going to show you a video. When I come back, we'll continue here on United today.
City. Pulang.
Well, that's a very gather all the rivals, gather them, and play the songs to them. After the torture they've taken us through this season, we finally had the last laugh in the domestic season. We had the last laugh. I mean, winning the FA Cup was just amazing. Nothing short of amazing for us. So, well, let's continue. So, what has been happening? Erik Ten Hag, his future. What is going to happen next? There's been a lot of conflicting news as to whether he stays or he leaves. But we clearly know that not everyone or these journalists churning out information about Erik Ten Hag staying. You can see a journalist tweeting at one point that Erik Ten Hag stays, the same person tweets that Erik Ten Hag goes. I mean, it's quite conflicting, but we are here to state what we know, the facts, or the issues that has come up with regards to Erik Ten Hag, whether he stays or he leaves. So prior to the FA Cup final, one journalist from The Guardian stated that Erik Ten Hag will be sacked as coach of Manchester United, whether he wins the FA Cup or not. It caused a lot of brouhaha amongst the fans. Many people criticize why such a news will come out at this point in time en route to a final. and it created a lot of backlash. I mean, towards the ownership. Well, it has emerged with because the news that came out was that the ownership of Manchester United were talking to other managers, and it has come out as perhaps they trying to put themselves in a proper position should, in case they should start Erik Ten Hag, what are the options available to them. So that was what necessitated the owners speaking to other managers. Now, it caused a lot of problems, and the hierarchy or the ownership of the club briefed the media, said that no decision on Erik Ten Hag has been made. No decision on Erik Ten Hag has been made. As a result of that, the season will undergo a review after the FA Cup final. And that is where we are at the moment. So the hierarchy are conducting a thorough review of the season. And what it means is that they are trying to have an appreciation of exactly what has happened throughout the season. You know what has happened this season. We didn't play very, very well. So, and the league position wasn't right. Although we won a trophy, there are still major issues that needs to be reviewed. And that would include whether Erik Ten Hag is fit to continue as manager of the club or not. Now, which people are going to lead this review? Well, it is emerging that Joel Glazer, Sir Jim Ratcliffe will lead this end of season review, and will have input from Sir David Brailsford and also Jason Wilcox. I have a funny feeling that Omar Barada will be in there, although he's not started work officially, but I'm sure he would also have an input because he becomes the chief executive officer very soon. Now, James Darker of The Telegraph has come out with what he believes are going to be the areas where this review is going to center on. One, according to James Darker, this review is going to center on the results and performance of the team, the playing style and tactics of the team, dressing room relations, and also the credentials and the costs of potential replacement. So these are the four areas that he believes that this review is going to center on. So results and performance. How did the team perform? How the results, were they good? And we all know the results. The results in the league, we've suffered the worst league season ever in the Premier League era. And that is not something that is known to Manchester United. I mean, finishing 8th has never happened in the Premier League era before. And we found ourselves in that position. These will be reviewed. These issues will be reviewed. The playing style and tactics. A lot of Erik Ten Hag has been criticized or has come under huge scrutiny for the tactics or the style of play that he's employed this season. A lot of people have had a lot to say about whether whether the team even has a style, because United got exposed week in, week out on specific games or on various games. I mean, losing concentration and all of that, the tactics, whether it was fit for purpose, all of these things will be reviewed. And there are also the issues of the dressing room issues. You know, Jadon Sancho having to come out to call the authority of the coach, had to be frozen out and then taken out on loan at Dortmund. The Marcus Rashford issue, and all of these little bickering coming up, and it would all be reviewed in this end of season review that will be going on. And also the credential. The last one is the credential and the cost of potential replacement. Now, the credential and the cost of potential replacement basically has to do with, if you sack Erik Ten Hag, what will be the cost? And when you are bringing in a new manager, is the new manager already contracted to another club? That means you go and pay a compensation and then bring in. What will be? And also the credential is looking at whether any of the options available fit what INEOS is trying to do, the new football model or game model that they plan to implement, or whether he's also better than Erik Ten Hag as a coach. All of these things will be evaluated before they come out with a decision. So this is what James Darker is saying. Now, Fabrizio Romano also has something to say about what this review will also entail. Let's listen quickly to Fabrizio Romano and then we'll come back to continue.
This week is going to be the time for the truth on Erik Ten Hag. There is an internal review. The discussion internally starts today. So Man United today and in the next days will discuss about many things, the injury situation, the transfer market, many things reviewing the current season, but also, crucial, the manager position. So they will decide on Erik Ten Hag whether they want to fire him or not. They already had conversations with agents of some managers to be informed on some managers. So they were already preparing for a potential decision to fire Erik Ten Hag, but now it's time for Man United to make final decision, inform Erik Ten Hag, inform his staff, and decide what they want to do for the future. So crucial week for Erik Ten Hag's future at Manchester United. Stay tuned, because there is really an open situation around Ten Hag, and the conversation between Man United and other managers, their representatives, is something really important to mention, because it means that the situation is really, really open around the Dutch manager.
All right, so that is Fabrizio Romano. They're also talking about issues that the review would be covering, and so we'll see how this review comes, what comes out of this review, and if Erik Ten Hag will come out clean, or if it's going to affect anything that he's doing as the manager of Manchester United. So that's it with that. But in the midst of all this, the question I would want to ask is, what has been the view of the fans? There's been a lot of arguments on social media. What's been the view of the fans? What are the fans saying? A lot of online polls have happened, and I can refer you to a few of them. One is from Sky Sports, and they were asking whether Erik Ten Hag should be kept or not. Out of the 116,000 people that took part of the poll, about 81% of them says Erik Ten Hag should stay. Now, the People's TV is a very popular channel here on YouTube. Also conducted a poll, and out of the 28,000 people that went to vote in this poll, about 92% want Erik Ten Hag to stay. That is not just it. The United Stand, one of the biggest channels, fan channels on Manchester United, also ran a poll on their X handle, and this is what came out, and it's still running. After 50,000 people, voting, about 86% of them want Erik Ten Hag to stay, and this is just a selected few. And you look across all of social media and all polls that are being conducted, and a lot of the fans. You listen around, and I can tell you, this is not because United won the FA Cup. This has happened because, and this happened before, even before. Some of these polls happened before, and a lot of people want Erik Ten Hag to stay. So the question is, United had a very poor season. Minus goal difference, 8th position. What are these fans seeing? Why are these fans championing that Erik Ten Hag should stay and that INEOS shouldn't allow Erik Ten Hag to leave? It's quite interesting. Let's hear your opinion on this, as to whether Erik Ten Hag should continue to stay on as Manchester United or not. In the comment section, please drop a comment in there and let's hear you. And also, while at it, remember to like the video, please, and also subscribe if you are new. You are just watching this channel for the very first time. Now, not just that, the polls. There is an open letter that has been sent to INEOS by a fan, and this is what the letter says. It says that, "Dear INEOS and the Glazer family, we as Manchester United fans have been reading quite worrying reports in the lead up and after the FA Cup final this Saturday against Manchester City regarding Erik Ten Hag's future. Now, Erik Ten Hag has not had his best season, but he has had a tough cards to deal with. 60 cases of injuries, instability as a result of the sale process, the media portrayal of him and his squad, and as a result of that, they believe that Erik Ten Hag does not deserve to leave the football club. He's 2 years into a project in which he has brought home 2 trophies, more than any manager since Sir Alex Ferguson. It's not always been perfect, but he's done very well. We can say as United fans that we do not want Erik Ten Hag sacked, agreed to leave by mutual consent or resign. They want us. I will be in this group of fans." So a lot of these fans have come together, put out this letter, and I've sent it to the hierarchy within the club. So it's quite interesting. Overwhelming support there from the fans for Erik Ten Hag. But will Erik Ten Hag stay? Well, we'll see the outcome. We'll be here. We'll report everything on the outcome of that review and whether Erik Ten Hag would be made to stay or would leave the club. So that's it with regards to Erik Ten Hag and whether he stays. Now, I asked the question, so let's move on to other things. Now, I asked the question as to whether United will be playing Europa League or not. Now, you know, when two clubs are owned by the same person and are playing the same competition, UEFA rules does not permit that to happen. Okay, so United is owned by INEOS, or partly owned by INEOS, who are the same owners of OGC Nice in France. All right, so INEOS is confident of finding a solution that allows both clubs to compete in next season Europa League, and they are stating that they are engaging in direct dialogue with the European football governing body on what next to do in order for them to clarify all of this situation. And this situation will be assessed by an independent panel who will rule over the matter before the competition starts in the middle of July. So, and it's not only United that finds itself in such a situation. Manchester City and Girona, they are all owned and they're under the same ownership. And based on that, UEFA would have to make a decision. And there are precedents that has happened, and a resolution will be made, I'm sure, which will see United and OGC Nice all participating in the UEFA competition. So we'll bring you updates on that as well. So this is what INEOS is saying, that they are confident that they are engaging with UEFA so that they will resolve this whole issue, so that both clubs can play in the Europa League next season when it kickstarts. So that's also that on the Europa League, Manchester United and OGC Nice. Now, I would end with a few interesting situations that has happened. So, Anthony Martial finally brought an open letter to thank Manchester United fans. His contract has ended. He's leaving the club as a free agent. He won't be with the club anymore, and he sent an open letter, which I've shared here. And I'll just read an excerpt of what he says. He said that this club has left a mark on my career and offered me an incredible opportunity to play in front of you. I'm leaving to take on a new challenge, and I'll always be a Red Devil. I'll continue to follow the club and its results with passion. Anthony Martial, what was meant to be, came in surprisingly, famous goal against Liverpool to announce himself. Well, felt he had a lot of promise, had a fantastic season, won the FA Cup that season, but his career at United has been plighted with a lot of inconsistencies, injuries, and a lot of things, and quite sad that he couldn't live up to the potential that United expected of him. It's been fraught with a lot of issues. Had to go on loan at Sevilla just to clear his mind, came back, and still nothing has been, concrete with regards to Anthony Martial. And we wish him the best of luck wherever he's going, and he's been a fantastic player, in the first season, but the rest of the seasons, a lot of inconsistencies. Well, very sad that Anthony Martial is leaving, but I'm not sure Kwame Nchubu is sad at all. Well, he has always wanted to see the back of Anthony Martial, but that is it with Anthony Martial. And Luke Shaw also put out a very long statement. You wonder, why is Luke Shaw putting out a lot of statements? Now, a lot of fans came to question whether his commitment, he's been available. Well, he's made himself available to go for the Euros. He came out with a long letter where he tried to explain exactly what has happened to him throughout the season and why he's not been able to, perform, or he's not been available for most parts of the seasons for Manchester United. He even concedes that he's still not physically fit properly, but he's still trying to put himself. He did all he can to be able to be part of the final, but he couldn't. But he's trying to get himself ready for the Euros. He says that let's not question his commitment. A lot has gone wrong with him, but he's still committed. He's still with us, and he'll still play a part of our future. I remember he signed a contract last year to continue with his career at Man United, and a lot of fans not happy with Luke Shaw, always injured. And as Erik Ten Hag said in the course of the week, he suffered a very early injury. If you remember that game against PSV Eindhoven, very early in his career, and which has affected him, and as a result of that, he's not been able to stay fit all through, or to be able to play most games continuously in a season without going out injured. And it's what has necessitated United to get a new left back in addition to him and Tyrone Malacia. So we'll see how it goes. So Luke Shaw trying to explain a few things. Not just Luke Shaw that brought out a statement. Marcus Rashford also had a very torrid season after scoring 30 plus goals last season. This season, he ended the season with just 8 goals, and a lot of issues, from his Belfast issue that led to his suspension. A lot of issues that Marcus Rashford has gone through, and he came to write this on his social media handle. He says that it's time to come off socials for a few weeks. I plan to rest and reset mentally after a challenging season, individually and collectively. Thanks to the fans that stood by me through a difficult period. To the ones that didn't just remember, at United we always stick together. So he says to the fans that stuck with him, thank you. But those who didn't stick with him, remember, at United we always stick together. So that's it with Marcus Rashford. We hope that these players that perform poorly will come back to form. We hope that things get better. We hope for a better outcome from whatever review that is being done by the INEOS and the Glazer family with regards to the club and everything. So, all right, so that's our wrap up today. United Today, thank you for joining. Remember to like this video, share, please comment and subscribe. See you on the next one. Have a great time.